Raw TV. I am not black. I am not black.
The point I'm trying to make here is, when you really start dealing with the spirit world, you're going to find out it's going to be the complete opposite, because we have been given religion, and religion is not spirit. No matter how much it makes you feel good, it's not spirit. And the only feeling good is you are spiritual beings, and you need something to feel good. So therefore, only what you are programmed by is why you feel the way you do. But religion is only inspiration. You see what I'm saying? So I knew that the brother, when he was talking, that he was religious. And religious say that it's all about your behavior. And I'm trying to tell you, I've been communicating with these spirits day and night, and not once did they ever say, Bobby, you need to stop cursing. Or Bobby, you need to not take this here. They require this. You know, I one time, they require this. So I had all this acid indigestion. I couldn't get rid of it for one day, and I'm like, what the devil going on? They were like, you know what you got to do? So I had to go get some medicine. As simple as that. Now, I'll go into the science on this type thing here and all, because you're going to have to break. So we're talking spirit. And sometimes you're going to have to break what you know as religious. And even though what you might think is detrimental to your health, there could be some spirits behind some things. So there's three sisters, and I talk about Otincha, T.H., and Shayola. And they show up, and they heal whatever. And I can get them to heal whatever, but they be like, Mom, get the shit. So now they're like, no, we want some cognac. So you know, now here's shit, I got it working. And my mate, she gonna come in with some expensive taste and start giving these damn spirits some high-end shit. You see what I'm saying? Messing up my flow. So now all of a sudden now they want cognac, or they wanted some Don Quavo. What's that? Quavo Gold. They don't want the regular tequila, they want the Quavo Gold. You see what I'm saying? So I'm like, I had them going off the shit when I get up the street. I live in the hood. Now you done raised the bar. It's becoming quite expensive. You see what I'm saying? So what I'm trying to say here is, we have all been programmed to think what we think is spiritual is based on a person's behavior before you, and that's not spiritual. I went to college for 8 years. I went for 4 years, and then I went for another 8 years just to have a place to stay. 3 hots and a cot. Take 15 hours. I think it's 12 hours. Which one? 12 to get that grant? Well, I take about 12 hours to get the grant, no more, just to get the lunchroom and the bed, so I could stay on the campus. And I used to use that to move. I said, to move to another city. I said, dang, I need to go to Atlanta. I said, dang, I ain't got no money, whatever. I'll get back in school. But I forgot what I was getting ready to say. But anyway, I went 4 years at this black college down there in South Carolina, and they had these black speakers that would come up, and they would inspire us for 4 years. And they knew the art of saying nothing well. That's ceremony. So as soon as you see somebody come unorthodox and curse before you, you have been trained to reject that. Now what is going on is this. Explain a couple of things. Y'all all right? Explain a couple of things. What is going on is this. You have the subconscious mind. You ever had some people, and some of you might know this because this probably happened in the last couple of years. They've been going all this black conscious stuff. They've been going all this Afrocentric stuff, and they know that all this, the origin of their religion started in Africa, started in Kemet. And after they learned all of that, they went back up in the church. singing on the choir. And you baffle. You go, wait a minute, how can you learn that the origin, you know, that one is an offshoot of the other, and one is actually a byproduct that is actually false compared to the original model, and you're going to go back to the falsehood. That is because you must understand the subconscious mind. The subconscious mind creates what you put. It's programmed with what initial information is put into it. The original information, the initial programming. You see, in its inception, and it takes that programming and believes it to be real, and it works on that initial state of what was programmed into it to bring you what you want. So it gives you reality from the very first thing that you program it with. And that you program it with could be wrong information. But it only deals with the reality in which it is programmed in, so therefore it runs off of the wrong information like it's reality. And when you put the right information in it, it will reject the right information until you get that initial programming out. So what has happened here is some of the people who have gone and learned all this stuff did not somehow internalize it and destroy the initial programming, and so it only became data. And it never seeped through to conquer the initial wrong programming. So after a while, after a couple of years, after certain lecture circuits shut down and they don't see the people no more, you know, doing lectures, new information coming out, they're going back to the church. And you baffled because you don't know what the hell happened. And because you were taught something as a child, doesn't necessarily make it true. The first thing people say, well, why are you going to tell me that? My mom and my daddy learned this. My mom and my daddy taught me this. You know what I'm saying? So you say, how can I get rid of this here? And I've been knowing it all my life. You understand how that goes? It doesn't necessarily make it right. You get where I'm coming from? So that's called the initial breeding. And you have to somehow, your cup is running over with ignorance. So you have to dump that out to get the fresh information. And so it's a series of programs. And you must do this now with the very essence of everything that you think is right and good. You see what I'm saying? So because you got a group of slangs that somehow your parents told you this, oh, that's bad. And you're still functioning on this now 40 plus, 50 plus. It's because of initial programming. Now over here, I'll give you an example. Over here, we can say the word bloody and it won't mean anything. But if you go to Britain and say the word bloody, you just as well said, you no good bastard. You understand where I'm coming from? So what is reality is only what you are programmed to say. So it's the same thing if you would go to the bush in Africa and you say, you no good bitch, you bastard. To the Twa people, they might laugh at you because they don't understand, they don't grasp the concept of that being offensive. So it's only relative to what you were initially programmed. And that's why we said that the only one that you will take offense to is damn. And that's the that you don't take offense. You can say it in the pulpit. The preacher can say, don't give a damn, and they go, well, go ahead on, preacher. And it is the only one that is the curse word based on when you want to say the word curse as far as damning someone, and then you have to use it in a certain function for it to be a curse. So it's by definition of the word, except when you say curse word or profane, well, we want to deal with the profane. I'm just trying to say here is we have to get out of the programming of what we would have as religion. So I could come here and give you this straight-laced simulation of being spiritual and take all your money and get caught in the bed screwing your damn daughters and incest and all kind of crazy stuff, but you bought it. You see what I'm saying? I want to preface that. I'm not talking about me screwing your daughters. I don't want to get it that Bobby went up to Philadelphia and said he wanted to screw your daughters. You see what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? I'm not talking about that. I'm just trying to say we get these shysters year after year after year been getting over on you since before slavery, and all because they came and said something in the package in which you were programmed to believe that they were spiritual. You see what I'm saying? And the prostitute might have the key to your salvation, and you walk over her because you are programmed to think the spirit has something to do with behavior, and behavior never existed. Everybody in this room, you've never existed. So I said I was going to give you the concept on how you can start loving yourself. You start loving yourself by not identifying yourself with the physical body that you think you are. You are not your physical body. And I know what I'm talking about. In 2002, on October the 16th, I was sitting in the chair, and I went to no self. That's the spiritual level where you go and you neutralize your spiritual self. So Bobby Hemmitt no longer exists, and I felt alone for a couple of minutes. But then I realized how stupid it was, because my soul was outside, and my soul was identifying with its original self, and my physical body was just a series of illusions that never existed. So now if you can get to the point where you can devalue your physical self and every little thing that you hold dear in your life, including your family and everything, that understand that you are completely cosmic, you see what I'm saying? Then you can neutralize your ego enough that you don't have to be over here player hating on somebody because they bought a brand new fur coat. It's just a series of events that never existed. We never existed. This is the ultimate reality that we got to say over and over, because at this particular time, we're being judged by what is called the apocalypse of the heart. The apocalypse of the heart chakra and the heart and all. And that's what we're dealing with at this particular time. So when you do this, we can get past what person comes and behaves a certain way. You see what I'm saying? So there was a method to the madness, as when I became more and more spiritual, I became more and more foul-mouthed. So what the devil is going on? And that's because of the training was being cast off. I was actually neutralizing, but the spirit was saying that you're going to need this to teach the people. Because most of the people that you think are spiritual are not spiritual. They've only convinced themselves that they're spiritual, but they are more religious. And that's a series of inspirational ceremony, and obviously it ain't working worth a damn, because it's your sons and daughters, especially your sons, that's locked up in prison. It's your community that's run by every other race but you, and giving you goods and services. But yet we got a church on every damn corner. You see what I'm saying? A church on every corner. And out of all the spirits that have showed up over the course of years, at first it was the generic names of the original ones that we know, and then the new names. I never heard of Jesus show up, because it's a composite figure that never existed. You see what I'm saying? I've heard from Osiris, I've heard from Horus, Heru, I've heard from all types of mystical characters in the past. Never heard of Jesus. But then again, they understand that Lucifer simply means the pineal gland. You see what I'm saying? Son of the morning, it means the pineal gland. When you get into the mythological aspect of it and not into the political aspect of it, of what they gave to the people. We'll go into some question and answers and stuff, but I'm saying we got to turn all this particular stuff around. Mostly everything when you see, even in the Book of the Dead or the Book of Coming Forth That Day, when you go to the different vignettes where the soul travels at the hours of the night, as you get deeper into the region of the highest level of spirits, monsters show up, demons show up. Well, wait a minute, hold on. We are taught that all this is evil, but as you go on, if you get the vignettes and stuff, and more you get the hours of the night, then the monsters start showing up. Because that's the most spiritual shit. You see what I'm saying? And put out the movie, the cartoon Gargoyles, come on every night at 11 o'clock. Got more science in it than most things that you even read on the Disney Channel. Gargoyles every night at 11 o'clock, 11:30. They drop all the science. And who are the monsters? You see, I just wanted to put these things out here. We're going to go right ahead. But I'm just trying to say here, we got to deprogram ourselves and we got to quit being scared. Now, I know you all are scared as hell for somebody to come up you unorthodox and stuff like that. But I'm trying to tell you this here. It was simple. 11 years ago, I decided to do a detailed study into the devil. And that's all you had to do, is to do a detailed study into the devil, and you find out in actuality that the evil that you think don't exist. And that the devil is one of the highest levels of spirituality. Doppelganger, your true self. You see what I'm saying? Now, I'm saying this and all because I'm an authority on the damn subject. Anybody can challenge me on this shit. You see what I'm saying? But my point is also, I done went through every satanic ritual there was, and I was sitting there. And you don't think for once. Look, let me show you something here. Y'all all right? Y'all all right? Sometimes the spirit work things. Let me show you something right about it. I got to say things before I forget it. Let me show you something right here. I'm going to pour the libations right now, but I got to get this out, because after I pour the libation, I might forget it. Because once the libation comes, then it's on then. You see what I'm saying? It's on then. You see. It's on. But I want to show you something right here. Y'all all right? Let me see. I got so much junk. You know. And I'm you know, and when you neutralize things, you don't have to worry. Like the sister, like my queen, as I came out the record store, she said, there's a guy over there trying to buy me a drink. I'm like, well, goddamn. Why didn't you let a nigga buy you a drink? But see, I done neutralized the point that I'm supposed to. Who said I'm supposed to get upset? Right. You know what I'm saying? Right. Who said I'm supposed to get upset? It's when I'm upset if you looking that toe up that somebody don't want to buy you no drink. Now, I ain't stupid. This woman is an actual beauty queen. She used to dress down and wear big clothes and stuff because she didn't want niggas hitting on her. She's an actual beauty queen. Clothes on, clothes off. So when she came out, I said, well, hell, you should have let that nigga buy you a drink. Or buy us one. But I'm thinking on a whole nother level and stuff. You know what I'm saying? You know, he wanted to buy you a drink. And then she said, well, no, when my husband is next, he was like, I don't care, I'll buy you one anyway. I'm like, damn. He might have broke me off a drink. Just depends on your mentality and how you get upset by certain things or you program certain things. So I love it when they look at her. That's what you think a man go with a woman for in the first place. You see what I'm saying? To show her off, she's a damn arm piece. You see what I'm saying? So I be looking at you looking at look, yeah, come on, look. You see, other people get offended. So it just depends on where you are at the time. But I want to show you this. If I can find it, if I can find it, I got so much stuff. But I want to show you this. It's a picture to show you what we're dealing with these Nazi doctors. You know, go get the movie Empire Strikes Back. Excellent movie. The second installment of the original Star Wars, when the guy said, when Obi-Wan Kenobi told Luke Skywalker, I want you to go meet Yoda, the Jedi Master. And Yoda was a little old runt living in a shithole eating stew. And he treated him with a heavy hand. And then he said, I can't teach him. He realized Yoda ended up being the Jedi Master. And that's the concept here that you're going to have to get past. That the same East Indian concept where the guy searched for God for 100 years and couldn't find him. He searched for him another 100 years, couldn't find him. Searched for another 100 years, couldn't find him. And he said, I don't think I'm going to be able to find God. But he only remembered on that road of searching for him, there was one prostitute on the side of the road. So when he started the journey this time, he went to the prostitute and said, can you tell me where God is? She said, I am God. She said, but you're a prostitute. Say, look, take it or leave it. That's what I am. But you can miss your enlightenment because you have a series of prejudgments and judgments, and you predisposed to something that is religious and ceremonial and is not spirit at all. It's going to come. That's why why you think the African And around the world, they got a trickster figure. In all mythology, they got a trickster figure. Tahuti is a trickster figure in Egypt. You see what I'm saying? Because also, Tahuti is also Hermes, which is also Mercury. So also, he said, who you said was Mercury? Set. Tahuti is also Mercury, because guess what? If you look at the origin of the pre-dynastic Set, part of his attributes went to Osiris, part of his attributes went to Anubis, and part of his attributes went to Tahuti. That's why you'll see Tahuti with a dog head in some mythology. You get the word Herminubus, which is Tahuti. You see, so it's a trickster figure. You see, so there's tricksters all over, and those are the gatekeepers. Those are the gatekeepers. Another thing, too, here's another thing about the gatekeeper. Now, I made a thing. Now, I have to preface this. So I just want to preface that. But we're dealing with the heart chakra. We're dealing with the heart chakra. And that's when the Spirit came and said, look, you're going to do with this heart chakra, you cannot judge nobody because they gay. I'm going to show you what I'm talking about. You know, women never had a problem with that. They got all kind of good gay friends and what you know. And the only reason why you're doing it is because of ego, because somehow you think it's a threat to your maleness and it ain't got nothing to do with anything. And I've had a resection, but the Spirit said, no, I'm going to show you. So when I announced that stuff in his interest, I was in Cleveland, and a brother showed up that was gay. And he had all his shirt on about the gatekeeper, which is all in Maladoma Somay's books, talk about the gay people are the gatekeepers. And he showed up and was the gatekeeper. And I said, and he was the most spiritual thing there. And it reminds me of when they stepped to Stokely Carmichael at the time, when he first did Black Power, and the gay white community stepped to him, and they said, we want you to help us with our thing because we got all this gay bashing. He was like, I can't do that. That ain't our culture. He said, what? They said, it's not our culture. They said, explain. He said, look, we knew in the civil rights movement that your boy from France, that lived in France, James Baldwin was gay. But something in black people's nature, we did not vilify this brother because we knew that this brother was paramount to our struggle. Now, that means that the legacy tell you that the legacy of the civil rights movement, the whole thing, not the Jewish influence, but the people that Martin Luther King and all those other people are, Ralph Abernathy, Martin Luther King and all them people, they had to be trained by a man, Bayard Rustin, who had gone down into Mississippi and Alabama in the 1940s when they was lynching people still. And he had to train them how to do a protest without getting killed. So this Lord was so bad of a warrior, so they had to bring him on just to train Martin Luther King and them how not to get killed, because he had gone down up in there raising hell in the 40s when no other black people was doing it. And he is the architect behind the whole March on Washington, D.C. You see what I'm saying? So in so many words, I said, well, no, wait, now why would they put this type of person in our struggle? You see what I'm saying? In our struggle. It is to teach you in actuality we're dealing with the spirit realm. We're not dealing with religions. To tell you that you're supposed to castigate a person, you see what I'm saying? Because of whatever, and I say that for one reason. Because I thought about it. What a nigga do in the dark is so personal. It's not as if, how is this challenging me? Oh, he can't get into heaven. Where is this damn heaven that everybody trying to get to that we ain't seen the damn access yet? And you know, and also, what does a physical act have to do with something spiritual? Let me give you an example. You afraid of going to hell, right? Because you're gonna burn up in hell. Fire gonna burn you for forever. You come from Africa now. And this niggas drawing heat in here tonight. And you're afraid of getting burned up by hell. Now let's break this down. In order for fire, they say our God is an all-consuming fire. So that means that God has got fire So, well, all right then. If I got an all-consuming fire, and the devil is supposed to have this fire to burn you up, then who is God? And what are they talking about here? The other thing here is, in order for fire to burn something, it has to be physical in order for fire to have the reaction to burn, by definition of the word. When you die, you don't have a fucking physical body. And guess what your soul is? Fire. Right there, it's fire. Energy. So, let me get this right. You got a fire soul that's going to be amongst fire, and everything down there burning and up there burning, but yet you're afraid of being burning, that you're already burning because your goddamn soul is fire. You see, this, if you look at the logical aspect, you don't have a physical body when you die, so how in the hell can you burn? So what is hell? Hell simply means when the soul takes on a physical body. Your physical body is hell. It is the defilement. And this existence is the worst existence to ever be. It's horrid, horrible. You see what I'm saying? It's called Hylex. Those who live in the physical world. You get it? So now, deprogramming this particular aspect. Now, where was I going? Let me get to the damn libation. Huh? Okay, what I was looking for something I misplaced. If you look, I can't find the shit right now. Because I'm unorganized. And maybe the sister is trying to tell me something. You see, you need some organization in your life. You know what I'm saying? But I'm already dumbfounded. I can't find nothing in the house because she done cleaned up and got everything in order and in place. And had the damn audacity to pack my suitcase. You see? But I ain't hollering because I understand the spirit saying, man, you wish for heaven. Now you getting it. Now you getting it. So don't complain now. You see, no, don't complain. Now, you know, I mean, pack my suitcase. And I'm not used to being catered on hand to foot. But then again, on the other hand, I go in the supermarket and, you know, they got the buggy to push and they got the little flap you push up. If you ain't got no children, you push the flap up. But when the flap is down, they got 2 holes in there. But when the flap was down, and a damn can of coconut milk fell out the basket and hit me on the damn big toe. So my toe hurting. So I look at her and say, you're supposed to push this flap up. So I kind of pushed the flap a little too hard. And this mug went off on me in the whole supermarket. You know, so. And the cashier was just shaking. She said, no, you don't do that. You know, you don't do that. And she went up on me in the whole supermarket and all. And I got to sit there and all, my toe hurting. And it's the same woman now. Just to pack my bags. And she done got lied on me out in public twice. So you know that's some spirit shit going on here. Huh? Huh? No, I couldn't say nothing. I just sit there and all, you know, because, you know, it was already embarrassing, you know what I'm saying? And the cashiers was all scared. Okay, going to what I'm talking about here, and this is this. You put faith in something that I'm gonna go into the library. So you scared of me because I'm talking about the devil. I done cursed at you, and then all this stuff, and this guy gonna come up in here, and it was disrespectful for him in a level of learning to come up in here with that yang shit he was talking about energy and curse words and all that old stuff here. And Elijah Muhammad will be dead 30 years next year. You know what I'm saying? And he gonna come up with all this stuff, and I'm like, whole time here, you disrespecting the whole thing. This man done dropped on you about all the cosmos. And the only thing you can get, and you know what it is? It's because he's angry for acquiring additional knowledge because he thinks what he has is already the gospel. And so when anybody come up and give you some additional knowledge, you see what I'm saying? Then your foundation is threatened. So the only thing you can do is to find something trivial to level what the damn brother was saying. I ain't no stupid fool. That brother in Ditmo wasn't talking about no curse words than nothing. You see what I'm saying? Because if he walked across that street and went past the wrong brother that said the wrong thing, he damn sure wouldn't come up and say, you cursing like this and you this kind of thing, because he know what time it is. You see what I'm saying? But he can get in front of a room full of black people and feel unthreatened that he won't get his ass whipped. And the first thing I was saying was, no, brother, it ain't like that. Let's throw down, goddammit. You said, no, you wrong. No, he mentioned Honorable Elijah Muhammad. And you already know, you get with them brothers, you say anything out of order, they kick your ass. So we'll find the same nigga for us up in here. See what I'm saying? And when you go amongst that white man, and you be in his thing, and he might have cursed, and he might have said what he want to say. If you was in one of his auditoriums, when he had one of his seminars, and you act up the wrong way, and he called that security guard in there, he bust you side the head with that goddamn billy bat, bust you in the head with that billy bat, you ain't gonna say a doggone word, but you got respect for them. See, it wasn't about no curse words. He was challenged based on the certain amount of information. He wanted everything to be Yahweh. You see what I'm saying? Which is a subordinate deity. Any male deity that's the all-supreme deity is the subordinate deity. Know this. Because the male deity you've been worshiping as the supreme deity, and look at your ass. That's the subordinate deity. That's Zeus. That's a tyrant. You see what I'm saying? We'll get into that. You know, you just been handed something, you accepted it. You know, and the coming of the whole, that clan was to suppress the divine feminine. And that time is over now. You see what I'm saying? And that's why you catching hell now, because you praying to something that ain't in balance. You see, there ain't nothing in the Hebrew faith that exalt, it's the one that everybody else get, the masses get, that exalts, that woman ain't nothing in there but obedient to her husband, bread making, and if she ain't that, she's a doggone hoe. But she don't share the spotlight with the so-called patriarch. Now, I'm going to show you something here that was really messed up about this. Right now, if he go to a white, fake, is it really Jew, he would laugh at it. He said, that nigga there is silly. Because that nigga don't know what time it is. Because ultimately, in the hierarchy in their priesthood, the goddesses share equal billing with the gods. Even their most devastating villain they got in Hebrew pantheon is Lilith. And at the end, based on Hebrew or Hebraic folklore, Lilith becomes exalted to the throne of heaven. They even tell you, even in the Hebraic thing, you don't curse Satan because one day Satan is going to be the angel of light. So that's what the rabbis in them learn. That the ultimate energy is the return of the Shekinah, which is what? A feminine energy. That's it. In Kemet, it's Mayat, or Sek Mayat. In India, it's Shakti. In Hebrew, it's Shekinah. You see what I'm saying? And also in India, it's also called Lakshmi Shakti. You see? So I'm just trying to say, this nigga was grandstanding in here trying to be spiritual. You see what I'm saying? And he was only being egotistical, and the only low energy up in here was his goddamn ass with that gang shit he talking. You see what I'm saying? Disrupting shit. In the masquerading as being spiritual. Because he didn't care about you in what you learned, because he threw a monkey wrench in what you was dealing with when this brother was dropping this stuff spiritual. Didn't even pay. See what I'm saying? See, we talk about the heart chakra. Nigga lost and hearted. Didn't even pay and gonna come up in a place and Bogart in here, crashing the party, stealing, and then gonna get up in here and act like he doggone Father Divine. See what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? You need to get you a chain and chain whip them niggas' asses. Moving right along.
Raw TV. I am not black.